even more games. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid. He's been patiently waiting in the finals for quite some time, for over an hour. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing himself, but he has worked his way through. He just took down Gumiho. It is Kyor. See in the chat, cook your Colossus? But don't eat your Colossus raw, Papi. Don't take it raw. Cook it. Ay. I still like I remember someone in the chat. I think it was Nidstang even in the chat. Tuck your Tempest. Tuck in your Tempest, Papi. Tuck them in. Then tuck it out. Had a long day. It's cozy. It's wholesome. But now though, we're getting into our openers. Kira going for a double gas opener. Meanwhile, we have Clem going for a single gas opener instead. This means that Clem should be looking to take a faster expansion. Kira going to be going for a faster factory instead. So we do already have a divergence in the builds as Clem is coming in for a bit of an SCV scout to get a read on what is going on. Again, I'm sure Clem was actually watching the last series. I'm sure he was shooting in to that previous matchup. I'm sure he was able to gain a lot from that, watching Kyor's TvT. So Clem, he's got a bit of additional information after seeing his series against Gumiho. I'm sure he's aware that Kyor was just playing pretty standard, like pretty stock standard, solid play, game after game, nothing too crazy. It was Gumiho that was really bringing something weird to the table that Kyor had to deal with. And we do see Clem back at home going for that factory into CC. CC on the high ground. On the other side of things, Kyor about to finish up his own factory. Not going for an add-on swap. Bold move here from Kyor, but he goes across the map with his first Reaper. Gets across the map and he is looking for an SCV and he will get it. Oh, and it looks like he is sacrificing his Reaper. He gets 2 SCVs for the Reaper. Is it worth it in the end? I mean, it does disrupt the production here. Sure, he gets a full scout as well. Does confirm the CC. And you could argue that, you know, Reapers, they lose value over time. As I say that, though, Kyor is making more. Does have an additional wave of Reapers on the way. It looks like just for map control, we don't have more Hellions in production from the side of Kyor. Getting into a safety Widowmine instead. And Widowmine is going to be burrowing here at the natural, or top of the ramp even. And we are getting into a longer game. Nobody but on Kyor? No shot. Oh my god. No faith, Papi. No faith. Shaking my head. As the natural's being taken, Cyclone production commencing and continuing here for Clem. Likewise, Cyclones also on the way for Kyor. In the early game of TvT, Cyclones, they are quite powerful. They're quite potent. They do add a lot of firepower here, and they can shut down Reapers, Hellions, and the like. As we work up towards 4 before going for the add-on swap, Reaper slips into the main base. Once again, nothing back for him to defend. SCVs are going to go down. The repair. Oh, we just barely repair in time. Oh my god, clutch repairs here from Clem. Takes down the Reaper, loses mining time, but doesn't lose an SCV, and Clem is pushing out across the map. Now, what is he pushing into? He's pushing into a Cyclone, Hellion, a couple of Marines, and a Reaper. Oh, the mine! Oh! Ooh. Cyclone goes down already! We do get a lock on, but Clem is being forced back. He trades Cyclone for Cyclone. And he will barely come out on top here. Oof. Barely able to out-trade these Marines as well. Snowballing out of control, trying to get into that mineral line. Oh, but the tank has arrived. And just like that, Kyor has held. Was a bit touch and go there for a moment. Was getting quite close. Kyor was almost broken. but the tank came out just in time. He's able to hold on. Meanwhile, Clem are going to be going for some Raven harass. Interesting here, Clem did not research interference matrix. Instead, relying on harass instead, getting 1, 2 SCVs. Ooh, 3 even, and some Marines. Good trade. A good trade from Clem. Behind this, both players are working on their third CCs at relatively similar times. Expansions are being taken. And Clem already going to be commencing Viking production very early on. Okay. Vikings are already on the way. So there are kind of 2 different like routes that you can take here. We can see which one Cure is going for. If you go for Vikings early on, of course you gain early air control and map control, and you can take better fights. Instead, we have gone for a medevac first for Cure. So he's going for some drop play, sneaking out across the map with some Marines, hoping to catch Clem out of position. Back at home, Cure is now commencing Viking production, building up his tank count, getting into the rest of his production in general. The drop is looking to sneak in. Now, these are vanilla Marines, which means they don't have stim. Oh, but the Viking does check and does come across the medevac. Whew, just in time. Medevac is forced back. And Cure will at least keep his Marines alive. He's going to come back home, he's going to consolidate his army, bring everything together, and move out. Their base is being taken. Clem, though, a little bit faster on the draw there. Oh my. The catch from the SCVs. Cure shuts down the Reaper, gets into mining, and is going to be moving out. And looking at the unit tab, we have a comparable tank count with each other. Clem does have a higher Viking count because he started Viking production earlier, so he does have that advantage as well. Yeah, both armies are quite similar, other than the fact that Clem has more Vikings. Oh, but again, the Ravens are going across the map to harass, which means they won't be back at home to defend. I mean, they didn't have interference matrix anyway, but we wouldn't have any defensive auto turrets or anything like that either. And here we go. Curie's pushing in. Does have plenty of energy for disables. He can try to break this. Clem, meanwhile, is undeterred. He commits to his harass. Auto turrets are thrown down. Well, Vikings are going to zone away these Ravens. Oh god! As we almost lose them. Getting a couple more SCVs. 3, 4 SCVs in total. And Cure does turn back around. Clem going to try to escape with those Vikings. With those Ravens. Vikings are looking to hunt them down. As Clem goes back into medevac production. Okay, he's going for his own drop play. The Ravens will escape. And the drops are moving out. And when it comes to what Cure has in position, well, his Vikings are with his main army. He doesn't have anything covering this location. This natural is looking quite exposed. As Cure tries to find a way in. Does get scanned. Clem so far is keeping up. He is going to be repositioning. And here we go. At the same time, the drop comes in. And Cure is late to react. SCVs are going down. 6, 7, 8 of them already. Now, we do have reinforcements, so this shouldn't end the game, but 10 SCVs fall, and the Marines, they do escape. Making their way back home. At the same time, the auto turrets, they come back in. Oh, Cure losing so many workers, but he is gaining ground. Is killing tanks. As the drop comes back in, once again, getting more SCVs. Cure, he's being forced all in. But he has no Marines with this. Like, he's only got tanks and Vikings. He can't push forward. He can't break forward. There's no way out of this. Cure has to force it, but the Ravens are out of energy. He can't disable. He has 1 disable left with this army. That's it. And Clem could even try to surround this. And he's going for it. He stibs on forward. Marines, they come in from behind. And he swallows up these tanks. Reinforcements come in from Cure, but it's too late. The tanks already went down. And now Clem has a massive lead. He's up in tanks. He's up in economy. He is up in Vikings. And Cure, yeah, he was just pulled apart. Just didn't have anything in position, had no scouting, had nothing ready for the Ravens or the drop play. Speaking of, we're going again. Once again, this natural is exposed, and once again, the Clem is going for it. I mean, Cure, he's already got a crippled economy. Can't afford to lose anything else. As Cure is trying to move out, but once again the Marines move in. This time we go into the into the natural and the main base. Oh, can we get a tank? We get a tank! At the same time, the main army is pushing on forward. He is spotted by the sensor tower, and Cure trying to come in from behind as well. Trying to get us around going, but he just doesn't have enough. The Marines, they melt against the tanks of Clem. Clem's also got 2-2, so he just has a better bioforce. So he's going to be threatening this third base. And Cure just can't do anything about it. Not anymore. Got one tank, but one tank. Another army's coming out. Clem is maxed at this point. Cure down 70 supply. Clutch repairs on the orbital. But all he can do is try to hold on to the base as we just stim on forward, fortified within tank range, and everything's going to go down. GG gets called. Clem will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there at a Clem. I mean, it was solid from both players, leading up towards that main push from Cure. It just so happened that Cure wasn't quite ready to deal with any kind of backstab, any kind of counterattack, and Clem was able to catch Cure with his pants down. Yeah, the drop into the natural, auto tarts, into the main, into the third. Just completely pulled apart. Very well done. GG, well played. And with that, Clem does take a lead in this series, but it's a best of 5. It is a best of 5, so again, plenty of opportunities to come back here for Cure. Plenty of chances. And I'm sure we will get a back and forth. I would be shocked if we have a 3-0. No way, no way. No 3-0s. We're going the distance, Papi. It's going to be a 2-hour TvT. A 2-hour best of 5, I should say. All the way to game 5. Oh, I'm ready for it. Let's go. As sporting in the bottom right-hand corner of Hardlead, we have the French Terran representing Team Liquid, up 1-0 in this best of 5 grand finals. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player down in this series, but it's a best of 5, Papi. It's a best of 5. Plenty of games, plenty of comeback potential. It is Cure. Clem will 3-0 and we make it to the Polish tournament in time. It's not gonna happen. It's the Polish tournament is in 10 minutes, Papi. It's in 10 minutes. No shot, no shot. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. We'll miss a couple of rounds, but we'll be there for the semis and the finals at least. We'll be there for a laser versus Spirit. Let's go. Really, that's the only reason why I agreed to casting another tournament after this. If you tune in a little bit late, in this event, we didn't get to cast a single Zerg player. I didn't get to cast a single Zerg, Papi. I saw the Polish tournament. I saw a laser sign up. I'm like, let's go. Give me at least some laser, Papi. Give me some trifax. Give me some of the Polski boys. Aye. I need my Zerg fix before I go to bed. Until then. This time, both players are going for mirrored builds, double gas openers all around this time. If you recall, previously Clem did go for a more economic opener, but this time on hard lead it makes sense for him to be a little bit safer. Proxies are a little bit more common on this map to go into the main base, so Clem doesn't want to get caught out against a proxy 2 racks, and he doesn't want to, you know, fall behind early on. So very safe opener here from our players, as Clem sets up for a CC on the low ground. We are getting into the swing of things. Once again, Cure taking a risk. He gets across the map with his Reaper. He gets a kill on the CC before getting the hell out of there. It's a very risky maneuver here out of Cure, but it does pay off. Does delay the CC of Clem, killing one of those workers. Behind this, we're building up additional Reapers, additional Hellions as well. Okay, we're just setting up a more defensive position here. We do have 1 Hellion, don't get me wrong, and we're getting up to 2 more Reapers, but we should be stopping Reapers here at 3, and with this Widow Mine, we're going to be just taking a defensive position here at the natural. Clem on the other side is actually cranking out Marines and setting up for what looks to be a drop. Show us the medevac. Yeah. Oh, he starts the medevac, but he cancels. Never mind. Okay, we go back in. Going back into the medevac. So again, we are setting up for a drop play here. So Clem is going to be moving out. Because it's a drop and because it's not just a straight up push, it means that this Widow Mine may not actually come into play. May end up seeing a drop into the main instead and bypassing this position. We shall see, as Clem does move out. What is it? What is a Zerg player? Only Terrans and Protoss in StarCraft. Only 2 races. Oh, smooch. Not like this. Too real. As Clem is pushing out, he does have to be very careful. That mine, of course, does pose a big threat to his army. If he's able to see it ahead of time, he may trigger it with a Reaper. Oh, but a tank is in position. Mine is going to get soaked. Meanwhile, we push on forward. We get on top of the tank. We try to. Hot pick up though, and Cure does defend. It takes down a Cyclone, cleans up most of the army. We try to drop into the main base, but Cure is keeping up. He does keep up. He will not allow any more damage to be dealt, as he is going straight into a 3rd CC. Likewise, so is Clem. Clem's 3rd is a little bit later. I think he threw it down as soon as he saw Cure's, and he's actually going in a different direction. Interesting choice. Bold move here. Ravens are on the way. Now, this is especially bold because he sees the Raven production. Sorry, did I say Banshees are on the way. Bold move because he sees Raven production here from his opponent, so scans won't be necessary, but there aren't that many Marines, so these Banshees, they have a lot of potential to wreak havoc in these mineral lines. We are setting up for some harass. Reapers, though, they get across the map. 3 SCVs go down. Oh my god, we're getting even more. 4 SCVs. Can we get a 5th? Can we get a 6th? Can we get a 7th? 6 SCVs at the same time. The Banshee does reveal itself. Cloak is done. See a drop into the main base. Likewise, Cure is being pulled apart, and he himself is also taking a lot of damage. He does pick up and leave. Again, there. Oh my god. Forces out an auto turret. There is no stim, so Cure is having a hard time keeping up. But the Banshee does make it out alive and hasn't revealed Cloak yet. And now we have 2 Banshees, and 2 Banshees, they do one-shot workers, so they can be brought together and threaten these bases. Behind this, we're getting to our E-base. Both players are. Additional Raxes. Again, they're both kind of keeping up with each other, confirming what's going on. As the Banshees do dip back in. Yo, can they get the tank? It's gonna be close. The boys are pulled. The tank will survive. And we can get a couple of extra SCVs because of that. Oh! Oof. Up! Stim! Stim is done! 1 Banshee goes down. The other will barely survive. 7 workers though. Good amount of damage. 7 workers, lost mining time, a couple of marines. 1 marine. Cyclone as well. Pretty good damage, and as a result, Clem does take a worker lead. He's up 48 to 43. Up 5 workers. And up next is going to be whether or not Cure can expand, because Clem is moving out, and Clem is going to be taking his third base behind this. The goal here for Clem is to contain Cure and delay this third for as long as he can. As I say that, the third is about to be taken, but Clem is in position. He's in position to deny that third base. Tanks do siege up. Deeper is going to go down. The CC itself taking a lot of hits. Cure is getting ready though. And again, Cure, he has a lot of Ravens for those disables. He's ignoring the army. Oh my god. The orbital is going to go down. We scan. We see the missing army. There's nothing here. Clem, he's racing back home. But he's going to be a little bit late. Cure is going to hit first. Now, there is no third base to punish. Cure making his way towards the natural instead. There's a tank on the high ground. 2 tanks on the high ground. But the natural itself is very exposed. And he goes straight for the mineral line. Up. Oh, SCVs are going down. A lot of workers are going down. But this is going to be a one-way trip as Clem has made it back home. 19 SCVs. Oh my god. And Cure will manage to escape with his Ravens, with most of his army. He lost a couple of Marines in the process, but got 20 workers at the same time. Banshee gets across the map trying to reciprocate that damage. Cure does take a worker lead, but Cure lost his third. Remember that. Cure, he may be ahead in workers, but he lost his orbital as well. And Clem, he can just take his own. So Clem, I still want to give him the edge economically. I still want to give him the advantage. As Cure has to start his own third from scratch. 1-1 about to kick in. And the game will settle from here. Settle for a moment. Again, they're really impressive that Cure has been able to maintain these Ravens and keep them alive. Scan does reveal that there is no third base, at least at this location. So even though Cure is down in tanks, because of these Ravens, he can still break these positions. The army hasn't spotted. Clem is repositioning. Disables are thrown down. Oh my god, almost every tank gets disabled and Cure pushes in. Clem was out of position. Oof, and he loses 4 tanks. He barely holds on. But again, Cure looking strong here, laying siege upon the third. Again, if only the Marines were here, then Clem may have been able to save some of those tanks. May have been able to hold on. As Clem has to just reroute his base, take the linear third instead. And Curie loads up and goes straight for a drop into the main. And this time it's Clem who's just having a hard time keeping up with Cure. The boys have to be pulled into Marines. Oh, not like this. Manually target firing there with those tanks, focusing on Marines as well. GG gets called. Cure, he takes control of the base, and Cure takes game number 2. We have a series. We have a back and forth. Let's go. Clem will 5-0 and change his nationality into Polish and win the Polish tournament. Oh no. Dzień dobry. Dzień dobry. Welcome. GG. But yeah, despite Cure losing his base, his counterattack across his drop play was well worth it in the end. And it was a Clem's turn, again, to be pulled apart. GG. GG, well played. As a reminder, that this is a best of 5, so still plenty of games ahead of us. But who gets momentum in this series? Who's going to take a lead? Who is going to take Game 3 and be one game away from becoming this week's KungFu Cup champion? It all comes down to this. It all comes down to Alkioni. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkioni, we have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem, the best Terran in all of Europe. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player tying up the series 1-1 in that last game. Fighting back, it is Cure. Here we go again. Cure, one of the more... Oh. Hello. Monsieur Clem? Where are we going? Where are we going, Bobby? As we are setting up a proxy 2-rax. SCVs are moving out, and this is going to be a very interesting location here for this proxy. Okay, so true. There is a cliff that does go up onto the high ground, up further into the main, so a very interesting location here for the proxy 2-rax. Meanwhile, it's not a 2-rax. It's a 3-rax. Oh my god. 2 across the map, 1 back at home. And Cure does open... Okay, so at least Cure opens up double gas. So with a double gas opener, he's going to have a faster factory, so he will have access to a Hellion. Meanwhile, he goes for an SCV scout across the map, but he will come across a Rax. Everything is looking as it should. Everything is looking normal. Little does Cure know that Reapers are on the way. Oh boy. Let's go. Oh, as we're getting a bit of damage done there. Regardless, Reapers are in production. There is a depot that's covering this Reaper cliff. That we do have vision on the cliff, I should say, with this depot. But there's that factory on the way. So we've spoken about this before, as this is not our first proxy Rax here of the day. Oh, he's checking up. Oh, he sees. Oh my god, he's crazy. He sees the SCV. What are you doing there? He sees the Rax as well. Cure is fully aware of what's going on. Oh my god. He's going to rally everything back. He's going to get ready to pull some boys. Hellion's on the way. The jig is up, and Clem is committed. This isn't just a proxy 2-rax, it's a 3-rax. Like, what can we do? We just have to make Reapers and hope and pray. Hope to try to out-control Cure. So far, he does hit first. The boys are being pulled in a haphazard manner. A couple of SCVs are going down, but the Hellion does arrive, and that's all that does matter here for Cure. With the Hellion, he forces this back. Doesn't kill anything, but Cure does have control of his own main base. Meanwhile, Clem building up his forces. But this is not a good start here for the French Terran. But here we go, we dive on in. Oh my god. 6 Reapers now down to 4 though. He's trying to focus on those Hellions. Can he get them? He gets 1. There's only 1 left. Only 1 Hellion remains. The boys are being pulled. And we do get a surround, and every Reaper falls. Cure holds. It was a messy hold, but he holds nonetheless. Ooh. Oh my god. It was 6 Reapers for 3 Reapers and 1 Hellion. But Cure isn't out of the woods yet. More Reapers are on the way. Clem is attempting to transition, throwing down a factory, not a CC. That Hellion count is getting higher and higher. We're up to 5 Reapers. We're waiting for another round. It's going to be, what, 6 Reapers against 3 Hellions and a couple of Marines? And Clem is still not expanding. He's still very all in. So Clem is giga all in, Papi. Giga all in. I'm sure he's hoping that maybe he can catch Cure moving out. CC is being taken. Banshee's on the way, and the Banshee will just secure the victory here for Cure. Nothing shoots up. And we assume we're going to have a Cyclone, I guess. Cyclone soon. Base is taken. Clem going to try to expand here. I was thinking, like, is he going to go for the gold? Is he going to do something crazy? No, he goes for a regular expansion. He's going to hope to try to get back to crawl his way back into this, claw his way back in. As Cure is exposing himself, like he's becoming a little bit more vulnerable here at the natural. The SVs are here as well. We do have a Cyclone, 3 Hellions, Clem up to 11 Reapers now. Can he break his opponent? I love this. He's going to try to lure out the Hellions, trying to set up a surround. He's going for it. He's coming in from behind. Oh, the Reapers, they take a lot of hits, but he does get the Hellions, the Cyclones as well. He's going straight for the middle line, but there's a tank. GG gets called. There's a tank on the high ground, a Banshee as well, and Cure will take game number 3. GG. Cure will take a lead in this series. Again, I appreciate the location of the proxy. I appreciate the creativity there from Clem, but he was found out. He was scouted ahead of time. He was scouted ahead of time. Cure fully aware of the potential of a proxy in that location, in that area, and he just completely shut it down. There was a moment, of course, when Clem tried to break Cure, when he came in with like 6 Reapers, but alas, it just barely was not enough. GG. GG, well played. And now Cure is one game away from becoming this week's KungFu Cup Round 3 champion. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Meanwhile, the pressure is now on Clem. It's now on Clem to bring it all back and to force the ace match. Can he do it? Can he pull it off? Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the French Terran player. The French Terran representing Team Liquid down in this series. He needs your support. He needs your energy in the chat to make it to the ace match, to win this game, to go to game 5. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. The Red Terran, one game away from becoming this week's champion. It is Cure. Here we go. This time, the Rax is at home. This time, no proxy at a Clem. The Rax is at home. Gases are taken. Cure, I think every game so far. I think every game, not just in this series, but in the previous TvTs against Kelazar and Gumiho as well, Cure has been going for these double gas openers. Game after game. Clem, going to be a little bit more economic, going for a single gas opener instead. Oh. Here we go. Please, Clem, give me my grapes back. Not the grapes, papi, not the grapes. Not like this. It's Cure coming in for a scout. Trying to get a read of what's going on. Looks like Clem attempted, or there he is, attempted to go for a CC on the high ground, and there it is. It is thrown down, and Cure sees it. He's fully aware of the economic opener. He's aware that he's going to be the one in the driver's seat, at least initially. As Reapers are on the way. I'm just stretching. Don't forget to stretch your roaches. I know the roaches don't exist anymore because Zerg has been gone for a while, but stretch them nonetheless. As Cure comes in with an SCV as well to help buffer. Oof. In the end, it looks like Cure does force his way into the main base. He's going to try and delay that building factory. He will not. He will lose his SCV, but he gets one. And he does delay that deeper. Supply blocking Clem for a moment. Disrupting the build, disrupting the opener. But not much more than that. Again, Cure did end up losing a bit more than his opponent. Behind this, we're getting into our 1-1-1. Cyclone production CC on the low ground to make up for the delayed expansion, of course, from Cure. As the Reaper dives into the main once again, looking to delay that starport, and looks like he will. Oof. Does take down that SCV, but he will lose everything else. Gets a full scout of the main at least, and does delay the starport. Again, these Reapers, they do kind of have an expiration date. They don't really have too much value as the game goes on, so getting a couple of workers here and there, disrupting the production, scouting, it's all worth it. Oh, as we do have that medevac on the way, and Clem is looking to go for some drop play. He's looking to push out, looking to push across the map and get damage done. We saw something very similar on Hardlead, if you recall. Meanwhile, Cure already working on those Ravens, just like he has been every game so far. Raven production, eventually tanks after this Cyclone as well. Oh, he's actually working towards 3 Cyclones. My god. He has quite an army. And Clem's got to be careful with this move out. There are going to be 3 Cyclones back at him to defend alongside all these Marines and Hellions as well. Let's see what he can get done. The Cyclones are dropped. He's going for the tech lab, but he will not get it. Oh, does get a Cyclone though. He does create an opening for himself. 2 Reapers slip into the mineral line. They get at least one SCV. Maybe even 2. 3. Oh my god. 4. Bappy. Does he even escape? Kind of. So nicely done here by Clem. As I mentioned before, like these Reapers, they don't really have too much value over time or as time goes on. So 4 SCVs, pretty good damage here. A good way to trade out those Reapers. As the Cyclones come back in, hoping to maybe catch a Raven, but they get a couple of Marines instead. As Clem does back off. Back at home. Interesting decision here. Okay, so both players are going for their 3rd CCs at around the same time. But Clem is going to be going for faster stim. Again, because he doesn't have a tech lab on the starport, it was thrown down on the racks instead, so stim is going to be on the way. As a result of this, he won't have any Ravens. So Cure will have a lot of potential here with his spells, whether it's auto turrets or disables or even anti-armor missiles. There's a lot of value in these Ravens. Clem's skipping them entirely. So you can have your Ravens. I'll have my man with gun. I'll have my Marine. So both players kind of going for different approaches. Different approach to the TvT. Going to be just building up our buy accounts already. Speaking of, Cure just catching up with the production. Even though we have our 3rd CCs, we aren't taking them yet. Not for the time being. Just establishing ourselves first before we do expand. And Cure even has eyes on that with that Hellion. Okay, he spots the main arding SCVs. Confirms the base timing as well. That will be a cue for Cure to take his own 3rd as well. Likewise, Clem is in position. Hoping to get an eye on the timing of the 3rd. And also pick off whatever units he can, but the tanks are in position. Clem will be forced back. And we're just chilling. We're finally just calming things down. I know we've had a pretty hectic and a pretty chaotic TvT so far, with cheese and like early game pushes and aggression. We're calming down. Here we go. Clem going to be moving out. His goal here to try to break this third base. Sensor tower's on the way. Now Clem does have a marine lead. Up. Raven's going to be careful. Remember, no disable here available for Clem, but he's distracting the marines. He's diving on in. He wants to collapse on these tanks, collapse on the Ravens as well. First tank does go down. Oh, the auto turrets are holding the line though. Oh my god, it looks like a Cure, he will barely hold on. Loses both tanks. But he will clean up the tank of Clem. The SCV's going ham. And Cure now has a massive lead. A massive army lead. Ben's going for some harass, but oh, the Raven barely does escape. Cure's gonna be pushing out, looking at the units tab here. Clem, he's down in Marines. He does have a couple of extra tanks. The worrisome thing, even if he has some tanks, that's what the Ravens are for. The Ravens are here to disable those tanks, to create an opening, to push on forward. Cure does scan ahead of time. He goes for the disable. Oh, he will get it. And from here, Cure, he can collapse on this position, push on forward. The boys are being pulled. But this is going to be a losing battle here for Clem. He's going to lose everything. 20 SCVs go down. The Marines as well. Even, well, with this upgrade advantage, Cure, he's breaking through. GG gets called. It's far too much, and Cure will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's WTL Winter KungFu Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Cure with a clutch defense back at home. Even without his Marines, he had plenty of auto towers that were thrown down. The boys were pulled. He defends his third base, and he's able to pull off that counterattack as well. Even had enough energy left over on those Ravens to disable. And Clem just lost too much in his attack. He committed very hard to try to break that third. He committed everything to killing that third, and he just couldn't. Just could not break through the tanks and break through the third base. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cure, as he does take the tournament in the end. My condolences to Clem, but he did well for himself. He did well making it this far, making it all the way to the finals. Very impressive run here at a Clem, but Cure was able to win it all. And GG, congratulations to Cure. Congratulations. Oh. And of course, congratulations to all the people that bet on Cure. All of you. I'm shaking my head, shaking my head. How could you? I stand by this. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Cure, he is so underrated. Like, Cure is legit one of the best players in the world. He arguably has the best TvP in the world as well. Like, he is so damn good, and so many people overlook him. And it's and I understand why. I understand why he gets overlooked. You know, he's not as like flashy, or as like, you know, it isn't as easy to get behind him like Björn or like Maru. You know, Björn and Maru, they're a lot more wholesome. They're a lot more charismatic in a way, with how they act on cams and in interviews and stuff like that. Cure is a little bit more robotic, and respect Cure, papi. Respect him. He's amazing. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of our players that did play tonight, that did compete. As we are going to be wrapping up our first broadcast of the night. Yeah, our first of many. Let's go. Let us go. I need to prepare myself for this, because we are not done. We are going to be going live here with another event, with the Chaos Open Cup #1. If you're interested, this is a Polish-only tournament. Players like Spirit, Aristory, Laser, Trifax, Cristiano, Papi, Geralt, and many others are going to be competing here in this tournament. And we will be heading on over to the European server and covering that event. Is my body ready for it? No. Not ready, Papi, not ready. The StarCraft just does not end. So if you enjoyed the cast, if you enjoyed this tournament, this is a weekly every single week. We do have this KungFu Cup, at least whenever there's a WTL. You know, this coincides with World Team League. So if you enjoyed this event and if you want some more, next week we got you covered. Outside of that, exclamation mark socials in the chat if you want to follow us, if you want to follow some more of the CranKy Ducklings. And we also do have YouTube and a Patreon if you want to support us. Exclamation mark Patreon. You can help us out. We do host our own events, and we do have plenty of tournaments going on here on the CranKy Ducklings, so you can follow us and you can support us if you wish. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. We are going to be heading off for now. I'm going to be handing over the stream to Kuro. Kuro, I think, is maybe ready. I don't know. Potentially. We'll figure it out. So we are going to be quickly heading off here. We're going to be switching over the stream, changing the delay as well. And when we return, we will be back with another event with the Chaos Open Cup. So see you then. See you soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for your support. And we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes for some more StarCraft.